We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some news regarding the Intercontinental Champion, Ricochet. Now, a lot of fans were a bit disappointed following Friday Night SmackDown this week, because it was revealed that Ricochet will be defending his IC title against Gunther or Walter next week on the Blue brand. But it seems like most fans felt like Ricochet, along with the Intercontinental Championship, deserved a spot on the Hell in a Cell 2022 card tonight, and that this continues to show the WWE's complete lack of regard when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship, and that it doesn't essentially mean very much anymore, hence why it isn't even being defended on many pay-per-views these days. Ricochet's Intercontinental title run has definitely been on the lackluster side in many fans' opinions, and being completely left off the Hell in a Cell 2022 card certainly isn't helping his title run whatsoever. And with the way Ricochet has been treated lately in the company as a champion, it really would not be that surprising in the slightest if WWE opt to have Gunther win the Intercontinental Championship from Ricochet on SmackDown next week. And if that ends up happening, hopefully WWE will begin putting forth a bit more focus and attention on the Intercontinental Championship, because this title should mean a whole lot more to the company than it has recently. And perhaps Gunther will be the superstar to elevate the Intercontinental title again. Let us know your overall thoughts on Ricochet's Intercontinental Championship run in general, and do you feel that WWE have not really treated the IC title very well lately, including keeping the belt off Hell in a Cell tonight, despite the fact that it would have made perfect sense for Ricochet and the Gunther title match to have happened on tonight's Hell in a Cell show, instead of a random episode of SmackDown next week. As well, should Gunther put an end to Ricochet's title run next week on SmackDown in your opinion, or should Ricochet retain the championship? Let us know down in the comment section below. Now, another big news story this week was regarding Lacey Evans' status in WWE, and this started when Lacey Evans basically no-showed Monday Night Raw this week despite being advertised by the company to have been making her return to action on the show. But thankfully, we do have some good news to share about Lacey Evans. According to one of our sources, the rumors of Lacey Evans being moved over from Raw to SmackDown are true, and that's apparently the reason why WWE did not have Lacey Evans show up on Raw this past week, because WWE have in fact moved Lacey Evans over to the Blue brand, and Lacey will be returning to action next week on SmackDown as per WWE's statement. It's unknown who Lacey Evans will be facing off against in a return match, but regardless, it will be nice to see Lacey back in WWE, as she has not wrestled in the company since early 2021, so a definite long time coming for sure. We have a relieving update regarding Shinsuke Nakamura following Friday Night SmackDown this past week, which saw Shinsuke seemingly injured following the match with Riddle against the Usos in the main event. A lot of fans were extremely concerned over Shinsuke Nakamura's status, as an injury for Nakamura would truly be terrible timing, considering he is supposed to basically be replacing Randy Orton as Riddle's tag team partner for the time being while Orton is away with injuries, and if Shinsuke was injured, that would put Riddle in a pretty tough spot in WWE. However, according to a new Backstage rumor, despite the supposed injury looking pretty real on SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura is thankfully not injured for real, and this was simply a workhorse storyline development, which is by all means relieving to hear. Hopefully Shinsuke Nakamura is back in action next week on SmackDown, as Riddle and Nakamura definitely deserve another opportunity at the Usos' undisputed tag team championships. However, clearly a lot of fans see massive potential in Riddle as a single star, after all of his great recent performances, so perhaps WWE plans something else for Shinsuke Nakamura when he is brought back to television after the storyline injury angle. Before we get into some big news coming out of Hell in a Cell tonight, we definitely have to share a new milestone for the Tribal Chief and undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. It has now been revealed that Roman Reigns has officially surpassed Randy Orton's combined days as the WWE World Champion, with Randy, a 14-time World Champion, having a combined reign of 815 days as the World Champion, and Roman Reigns has now surpassed that at 824 days for Reigns' combined world title run, with Roman Reigns being a 6-time World Champion in WWE. Now, this is pretty shocking to say the least that Roman Reigns has already passed Randy Orton for total days as the WWE World Champion, but that definitely goes to show that a very long title run can be a great legacy builder over a lot of short title runs, and Roman Reigns has certainly proven that to be true with his historic Universal title run, and he now also holds the WWE Championship as well. Hell in a Cell 2022 is now in the rearview mirror, and this premium live event featured quite a few memorable moments throughout the show. And while we won't do a full recap of Hell in a Cell, some of the more noteworthy results from the show this year include Bianca Belair retaining her Raw Women's Championship against challenger Becky Lynch, and Asuka in what was a truly fantastic match. Kevin Owens getting the win over Elias's younger brother Ezekiel was also an interesting moment. Judgment Day's Edge, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest defeating Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and AJ Styles in what was also a great match, although some fans felt like AJ Styles' team should have got the win. But let us know your thoughts on that match result, and overall, what are your thoughts on Hell in a Cell 2022 in general? We will now be getting into the unfortunate and downright tragic news regarding Cody Rhodes coming out of his main event match tonight at Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins, and this will definitely be changing WWE moving forward. Now the tragic news regarding Cody Rhodes coming out of Hell in a Cell 2022 is the fact that Cody was legitimately injured going into his match tonight with Seth Rollins, with WWE revealing the serious injury that Cody Rhodes sustained on Raw this past week, after the brawl with Seth Rollins. But that Cody Rhodes would still fulfill his Hell in a Cell main event match against Seth Rollins, despite many fans feeling this could have been a terrible idea. And even though Cody was able to perform tonight, the sad reality is that this is a very serious injury, and Cody Rhodes will be forced to leave WWE for quite a while to recover from this. And this comes at such a terrible time, as Cody Rhodes was just beginning to get a major push in WWE following his return at WrestleMania 38, and for him to have to be forced to the sidelines right now is beyond sad and unfortunate for his career. Now heading into Hell in a Cell 2022, there were some huge rumors regarding the Fiend Bray Wyatt possibly returning to WWE tonight, after teasing his return to the ring earlier this week on social media. And while there was very little evidence to really suggest that Bray Wyatt was on his way back to WWE at Hell in a Cell, the speculation and buzz only intensified going into this weekend. And even though the Fiend Bray Wyatt did not end up returning tonight at Hell in a Cell 2022, could have he secretly been backstage at Hell in a Cell? Well, some fans are speculating that the Fiend Bray Wyatt could still be on his way back to WWE, and could be returning as early as tomorrow night's edition of Monday Night Raw, and that perhaps the Fiend was backstage at Hell in a Cell tonight working out his return details with Vince McMahon and management, but that WWE decided to postpone the Fiend's anticipated comeback for another time. Although this is just speculation right now, and we don't know for sure if the Fiend Bray Wyatt is officially back in WWE just yet, as AEW is still a very possible option at this point for Bray as well.